Welcome everybody to the weekly Shir, the Zera Shimshon. This was not so weekly. It's already Yud-based Nisan, and I'll be honest with you, just like everybody else, I really didn't have a lot of time to do a Shir last week. So what I'm doing this week is I'm going to cover some Shir HaShirim, which we do say on Shabbos, and we do say. Some people have the custom to say it after the Seder. So it's very important to give a little bit of inspiration and an insight into the Shir HaShirim, which it's very beautiful. And it's today, I didn't mention Yud-Beis Nisan, Tafshin Pei Gimel. And if you didn't sell your chametz yet, please do. And you could sell Yud Gimel and sell all the places you really don't want to check. So you can consult with your rabbi in that one, but that's what I've been doing for years. And then sell Yud Gala, the real chametz. Okay, and obviously next week I don't think I'll be doing a shir either. So nobody's going to be able to see it anyway because you guys all keep 2 days. So it's going to be a little difficult. Here's a beautiful little piece. Let me share this with you. The Midrash in Shir HaShirim Rabbah says on the pasuk Shir HaShirim Aleph, Turei zav naselach im nekudais hakesef. Okay, so what does it mean? Turei zahav naselach. The one's rows of gold I gave to you. It says zubizas hayam. This was the booty of the yam by the Yam Suf. Im nekudais hakesef zubizas mitzrayim. So when they went out of Egypt, they also took silver. Okay, Kashem shehifrish ben Kesel lezahav kach yesh be'shavach memamayin hayam mibizas Mitzrayim. So just like there's a difference between silver and gold, so there's a big difference between the money of that they gathered by the bizas hayam, the mamayin, he says, of the yam, mibizas Mitzrayim, from the booty that they took with Egypt, from Egypt. Okay, first of all, kasha. So bishvil shenikresi zahav muchach shehu yoser. So just, it's cold. Gold is always more expensive, has always been more expensive than silver. Ve'im lefamim hakesev meruba mehazahav, and sometimes if there happens to be more silver than gold, v'hala hakesev yoser chashuv. So, but the silver would be more valuable. The ma'inin hakamus ala echos was the nafkamina. If you have, there would be. By the way, I can give you a reason, but it's okay. Not for this year. The kamus is the amount, right? You count. It's got 1,000 pieces of silver, are not. Maybe not equated to 10 pieces of gold. It's worth more money. Well, you could say, well, the rows of gold were bigger. They were blocks of gold. They were more than the nikudais, just the pieces of silver. So adayin tzorich iyun. Mama him shilam lezahav lekesef davka. Why davka then did they give this mashal between silver and kesef? Silver and gold. Yesh loimer shahazav remez al din. Now, Pi Kabbalah, we know that the zahav is yellow. Yellow is in the tzad of the small, which is gedula, which is gevura, and that hints to din. And kesef is whiter, and therefore silver is the whiter material. And that hints to chesed, which is on the tzad yamin, which is chesed. That's from the Zohar and Parshas Shmos. V'yadua shehayetzias Mitzrayim haisa al yedei beis din shel maila. Going out of the exodus from Egypt was because of the beis din shel maila. They came down. Kimoy shepirash Rashi on the pasuk Hashem veHashem ha'ika kol b'chor. And then you see with the Vav and Hashem is always the Hashem and Beis Dinai. VaHashem hu Beis Dinai. Right? It's a Gemara. VaHakriyas Yamsuf Haya HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ratz Asher Ratza Kach. the dividing of the sea, right? The splitting of the sea was because God wanted. So, the fisher pare morad b'malchus shamayim she'omar mi Hashem asher eshma b'kailei. So he rebelled against Hashem, and he said, "Who is Hashem that I should listen to him?" Even though there was a big opposing attorney against us in the Shemayim, and the pasuk v'yosha Hashem b'yom ahu es Yisrael miyad Mitzrayim. Well, we were saved from the hands of the Egyptians. Because, they said, Eilu Eilu, Avdi Avodah Zarah. V'chein hakasu v'aymer v'achabda v'farei. I know, to make heavy parei, or make him heavy. Perak Shishi, for the sixth paragraph of Sanhedrin, Amin and Harugi Malchus Niskeim Lamelech. Those that are killed by the king, their properties go to the king. Harugi Beis Din, but those that are killed because of their punishment in Beis Din is capital punishment. Niskeim liyarshim. Their properties go to the inheritors. But the great amount of inheritance that was promised to Avram that they would get from Egypt, that only would come if they fulfilled their obligation of the 400 years. There's many different terutzim about this, and there's arguments in the midrashim, but let's say because of their difficulty, they had fulfilled the 400 years because of the difficulty. We were only in Shibud 81 years, okay, so. Omnam yesh pischain per lebal din lechalek 86, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, he has an opportunity. The person, of course, the angel of death is always trying to make troubles for us. So he could say, Shazeh Eina Nikra Hashlama Gemura, that this, that 80 some years that we were there under severe shibud is not really paying off the other 300 some years. So therefore God did a chesed with the Egyptians, that the Jews would get that, would be merit to get that inheritance or that money as they would get it by asking them to borrow it. Okay? So that the Egyptian wouldn't have a bad experience with their power would not be so great when they came to claim, and they could actually try to claim back that property. Like there's the story of Alexander the king, and there was a din with the Egyptians in the time of Alexandrus Mokdon, and there was a man named Gavia ben Psisa who was a hunchback, and he said to the sages, "Give me permission, and I will go deliberate with them before Alexander of Macedonia. If they will defeat me, say to them, you have been defeated by an ordinary person from among us. It's no big Talmud Chacham. And if I defeat them, then we can say the Torah of Moses, our teacher, defeated you, and attribute no significance to me." He was very humble. So the sages gave him permission, and he went and deliberated with it. So what did he say? Gavia ben Pesisa said to them, "From where are you citing proof that you are entitled to the silver and gold that we took from Egypt?" "Well," they said to him, "from the Torah." No, they learned the Torah also. So Gavia ben Pesisa said to them, "I too will recite proof to you only from the Torah. And as it is stated, and the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. Okay, during which they were enslaved to Egypt, engaged in hard manual labor. So give us wages for the work performed by the 600,000 men and women, of course, and above the age of 20. And he's going to be Mekel with the wages, whom you enslaved in Egypt for 430 years. Okay, so they said to him, we don't have an answer. Give us 3 days time, and we'll consider the matter. So Alexander gave them 3 days, and they didn't find any response to these claims. Immediately they abandoned their fields and they were sown in Israel, which is called Eretz Canaan at that time, and their vineyards when they were planted and fled. So the Gemara said that and that year was a sabbatical year. So he won, just by claiming exactly what it says in the Torah. Omishum hachi himshil bezvizas mitzrayim lekesef shahayach hu chesed. So therefore he made it a mashal, a comparison, a similarity to chesed. Bizas ayam lezahav. The bizas ayam was compared to gold. The fi shahayat din gomor, because it was very severe din. Neged hamitzrim shahaya lahem din harugi malchus, because they had the din of harugi malchus, because shebenichseim the melach. Who's the king here? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She'elo she'acher hamitzrim mordu b'malchus shemayim b'yam suf. Since they rebelled against God at the Yam Suf and even before, the Mela zochu Yisrael gamri af b'bizas mitzrayim. So they were completely retroactively privileged to keep the booty of Egypt as well, which was the silver. Shehari af im ha'isa mitzrayim ha'isa biza shum tainam. Even if they would have had some legitimate reason to claim that it was theirs, so all of their properties and all of their privileges, their merits would go to the king of the whole world, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he can give it to whoever he wants. He gave it to the Jewish people, and that's what it means. Turei zahav naseh lach, the golden rows that were given to you, im nikodais hakesef, together with the pieces of silver, and they all got it b'schus. So like it says in the beginning of Bereshis that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, and if he wanted to give, he could give it to whoever he wants, and he decided to give the Eretz Yisrael to the Jewish people. And we have the schus to have the mitzvahs, the Torah mitzvahs of Eretz Yisrael, B'chashem, and everybody in the rest of the world has all the Torah mitzvahs. And in that schus we should see the Begeula Shlema B'mheira B'yameinu. Amen.